And we're live.
Kansho. Namanda bits, namanda bits, namanda bits, namanda bits, namanda bits, namanda bits, namanda bits.
Good morning. Today is June 26th, and we welcome you to New York Buddhist Church's service, streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. We will begin with quiet sitting. Please sit up straight, feet flat on the floor, calm your mind, and follow your breath. Today's chant is Junirai, Bodhisattva Nagarjuna's 12 verses in praise of Bodhisattva Amitabha, Tan Nembutsu and Ekoku merit transference, followed by Vandana Ti Sarana, 3 jewels, page 167. Our meditative reading is number 7, Way of the Bodhisattva. Reverend Cheryl, Joko, Ikemiya will then share today's Dharma message. We will close service by singing Gatha's Ondokusan on page 218 and Nembutsu, page 169. Namu Amida Butsu.
So good morning and welcome to our service today for June 26th. It's nice that you could come out today on this very warm day. It's been a very turbulent week for many people emotionally as well as in the news. And so let us dedicate our service and our minds to achieving center in ourselves, a center of warmth, a center of inclusivity, a center of equanimity to all. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Junirai is on page 67. Koga
Jippo shorai shobushi kengen jinzu shi anra sengo songen jokugyo koga chorai midason shomujomugato yakunya suigaten yoro ishu sepa mumyoshi koga chorai midason isan besen mu akumyo yakumunyonen akudofu shunin shishin kyo isan koga chorai midason isan muryo ben find on page 169.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namu Kie Butsu. Namu Kie Butsu. Namu Kie Ho. Namu Kie Ho. Namu Kie So. Namu Kie So. Namu Amitabha. Namu Amitabha. Namu Amitabha. Namu Amitabha.
Please join me on page 18 of the Purple Service Book as we read The Way of the Bodhisattva. May I be a medicine for the sick and weary, nursing them until their afflictions are gone forever. I would be a protector of the helpless, a guide for travelers and their means for crossing a stream, a lamp for those who need a lamp, a bed for those who need a bed, a slave for those who need a slave. May all find happiness through my actions, and let no one suffer because of me. Whether they love me or hate me, may those feelings be the source of their fulfillment. Those who mock, accuse or wrong me, may they all attain perfect enlightenment. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And now for our Dharma message, I would like to present our own Reverend Cheryl Joko Ikemiya.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our service today. Gary sort of introduced what I'm going to talk about today, because the times that we live in now have been very turbulent. A lot of things happening one after the other or at the same time, and it's hard to make it through the day sometimes. But so today I'm going to talk about equanimity, balance, and so this is from the sayings of the Buddha in the Dhammapada. Place your palms together in Gassho. Thank you. The wise one. The wind cannot shake a mountain. Neither praise nor blame moves the wise one. He is clarity, hearing the truth of the Dharma. He is like a lake, pure, tranquil, and deep. Want nothing. Where there is desire, say nothing. Happiness or sadness, whatever befalls you, walk on, untouched, unattached. From the sayings of the Buddha, the Dhammapada. Thank you. So this past week, I corresponded with a member of the Buddhist Women's Association at the White River Buddhist Temple, which is in Auburn, Washington. She had visited NYBC, New York Buddhist Church, before the pandemic, and we were clearing up a matter of several uncashed checks in 2020, and we started to talk about how our sanghas had survived during the first 2 years of the pandemic. Their BWA had a weekly email where members shared their thoughts to stay in touch. Recently, they started to meet again together in person. I told her what a challenge it had been here at New York Buddhist Church to hold the Sangha together for those 19 months. And as you know, we did so with live streaming. We had Zoom classes. Some members who didn't have access to the internet, other members called them or they sent them letters or postcards. I told her that I was able to live through this time in peace because I was a Buddhist. And she asked me to write something to share on their final newsletter at the White River Buddhist Temple as they are transitioning to seeing each other in person. So I shared this short reflection of my experience, and we'll expand on it a little bit in our talk today. This is what I wrote. The COVID pandemic erupted in New York City in March 2020. With the disease spreading at lightning speed, the death rate escalated rapidly. Fear was part of our daily lives. As the rest of the city shut down to a standstill, we had to shut down the New York Buddhist Church, this building. But the Sangha quickly adapted to online streaming of our weekly Sunday services with Reverend Early Keda and our tech team of 2, and keeping us all in touch. We realized that Sangha could continue through this difficult time, and this gave us a sense of calm and stability, which continues even now, I hope. During this time, I had been deeply grateful that I am a Buddhist. The Nembutsu is the source of peace and balance in my life. How difficult and challenging this time would have been had I not been a Buddhist? So this is what I shared with her and with her newsletter. And today, I wanted to explore these thoughts a little bit further on how being a Buddhist sustained me, and I hope sustained all of us. For me, this arises from the equanimity or the perfect balance taught by Shakyamuni Buddha, and the gratitude that I experience from saying the Nembutsu that centers in Shinran Shonin's teachings. Each of us experienced something different during the worst of the pandemic. First, we all scrambled to protect our own health and changed our lives to stay safe. Remember how we feared going outside of our homes and our apartments? How we avoided encountering anybody on the street? How we washed our hands, changed our clothes after going out, wiped down all the surfaces after coming home. And now it seems that we're far from those days, even though we are still observing a lot of the protocols. And many of us want to forget. But we should remember what we experienced. After we established that we could survive with those proper precautions, our Sangha members and friends felt that we needed some ballast or anchor in our life. Something that would keep us from toppling over, something that would provide balance and calm. The passage from the Dhammapada is about the wise one, a follower of the Dharma, who's able to maintain steadiness, balance, and calm throughout life's storms and challenges. I'll read it one more time. Hold on. The wise one. The wind cannot shake a mountain. Neither praise nor blame moves the wise one. She is clarity. Hearing the truth of the Dharma, she is like a lake, pure, tranquil, and deep. Want nothing. Where there is desire, say nothing. Happiness or sadness, whatever befalls you, walk on, untouched, unattached. The wise one is unflappable, steady and settled. The wise one is not swayed by criticism or flattery, failure or success. The wise one is not swayed by pain or pleasure. The wise one is untouched, unattached. And that might be a little bit difficult to understand, but we'll come back to that later. From a Buddhist perspective, equanimity arises from being able to see our lives and the world without being caught up in what we are actually seeing or what we think we're seeing. In other words, this is right view, the first of the Eightfold Path of the Buddha's teaching, that is, seeing things as they truly are. It's being able to view without the winds and storms of the three poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance rising up. Then we're able to see things without jealousy, without anxiety, fear, or prejudice based on lack of knowledge. During the pandemic, we all faced many of these challenges. The mind of equanimity can allow us to stand in the middle of this, all while being fully engaged with the view or the perspective of knowing exactly what is around us. We see and we respond with clarity and understanding, like a lake, pure, tranquil, and deep. Because we can face these challenges with a peaceful and observant mind, the effects of the storm calm down. We're able to experience understanding, we're able to be present, we experience calm, joy, and eventually some freedom. The wise one is untouched by fear and anxieties. The wise one is unattached to emotions that cause harm or prejudice. and able to let go of too much attachment or clinging. To let go of attachments, and sometimes this is difficult, to other sentient beings, inclusive of family and friends. As we all know, that loss and permanence is part of is ever present in our lives. This isn't a passive state of non-attachment, but a very active state of living with the Dharma that leads to freedom from attachment. For example, during COVID, we might have lost physical closeness and contact with our friends and family. But seeing the reality of the disease, we adjusted to that being alone. We began to make efforts to speak to our loved ones or people on the street, to speak with our Sangha members by phone or Zoom calls. In fact, many relationships changed because we made this effort. Where does this balance and calm come from in our lives as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists? Let me digress a little to tell you about my recent visit to my prior home in Maine. I lived there for 10 years in a Zen community, many, many decades ago, actually. A close friend invited us to sail on his 33-foot sailboat. It was a beautiful, clear day. As we watched the boat's sails unfurl, it went way many feet above our heads. When we were far out enough in the bay, we caught the wind, and I observed how navigating the boat was a challenge of judging the wind, watching the currents of the waves, and observing how deep the water was beneath our boat. The wind was quite strong, and at times it felt like we were going to tip over in the water. I was a little bit scared, to say the least. I braced myself from sliding off the bench that I was sitting on with my foot, put it against something else, held onto whatever I could grab. And my friend looked at me and assured me that the boat would not tip over because the ballast below the boat weighs as much as a large vehicle. After I heard that, I felt more at ease, knowing that the boat would always be balanced in the ocean. So that's what a ballast does. So as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, what is our ballast? What keeps us balanced and steady? And I always think of it as the three treasures, and we chanted the three treasures earlier today. Those three treasures are the Buddha, that's Shakyamuni Buddha and Amitabha Buddha, the Dharma, the teaching of wisdom and compassion, of universal light and life, as reawakened by Shinran Shonin, and the Sangha, our community, other Buddhists and spiritual fellows throughout the world. Our community of friends, family, loved ones, our pets, even things that we cherish, inanimate things that we cherish. So during the worst of COVID, our Sangha strengthened and in unexpected ways, and our efforts to support each other became our ballast to keep us peaceful and steady. In Shinran's Hymns of the Pure Masters, he says, though we commit evil throughout our lives, if we say the Nembutsu always, with our hearts turned wholly to Amida, our obstructions fall away by the vow's spontaneous working. With the support of Amida Buddha and Shinran's teachings, we say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I, this foolish being, entrust myself to Amida's vow of great compassion. Therefore, Namo Amida Butsu is the ballast that assures, sustains, and holds me throughout my daily life. In lonely, frightening, in uncertain and difficult times. It's the ballast that assures, sustains, and holds me through good, happy, and uplifting times as well. It connects me with my Sangha, my family, friends, neighbors, strangers, even those who might not wish me well. It's often the fearful and uncertain times that we need the calm and balance of the Nembutsu. You've all experienced this, maybe with an illness or surgery for yourself or a family member or a friend. In saying the Nembutsu, a wave of calm emerges and our hearts become settled. And then we can trust that whatever comes will come, and we can be at peace. When we say Namo Amida Butsu at these times, we truly begin to understand what Shinran Shonin said, that after awakening true entrusting in Amida's boundless and unfathomable wisdom and compassion, we experience entrusting in that which we are a part of and which is beyond our limitations. We then are filled with great gratitude for being at one with the Buddha's benevolence. The Nembutsu gives the equilibrium and strips away all the fears, anxieties, and doubts, the grasping, and we are able to see things as they truly are, and we can live with peace and joy. Though we commit evil throughout our lives, if we say the Nembutsu always, with our hearts turned wholly to Amida, our obstructions fall away by the vow's spontaneous working. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
So thank you, Reverend Cheryl, for that beautiful, beautiful and timely Dharma talk. May we take that message to heart and find that peace within ourselves. And so now please rise for the Gathas Ondokusan and Nembutsu, which is on page 218, followed by Nembutsu on page 169.
Mio
Amitabha. Nam Amitabha. Nam Amitabha. Nam.
Namo.
Please be seated. And so this is time for acknowledgements and announcements. And so first I'd like to acknowledge the wonderful Dharma talk of Reverend Cheryl, who gave us a very timely message today. I would like to thank Nobuko-san, Kodama-san for playing the piano. I would like to thank Ruth for being the greeter today and for providing these anonymous flowers. And I would like to thank our crack IT team back in full strength today, David and Carl. Thank you so much, keeping us connected. And today, after the service downstairs, I'm not sure, I believe 1:15 it says, the children's taiko will be performing in the dojo downstairs. 12:45. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading this. 12:45 now. Okay, so they will be here, Teri Yoshikami and some of the kids that practice with them. And if you can, please go down. Reverend Cheryl and I will be running down to the Pride Parade right after this. This is a good time to make our traditional pitch for a membership. You can join the New York Buddhist Church if you're looking for a spiritual community where you can be a big fish in a small pond. This is the place. So don't wait, join. Sign the dotted line. The forms are on the website. Please go there. There was one other thing. Oh yes, we're going to be having an Obon Fundraiser. Our Obon service is next month, a few weeks from now. We're going to have some candles available if you'd like to commemorate your loved ones' names. And there, if you go to the website, there are places you'll find some links, and also on the MailChimp that goes out to members and friends, the instructions for doing that will be there. And so please consider that. That takes the place of our booklet with all the commemorations that people do every year. So please consider that. And are there any other announcements that anyone would like to make?
Virtual Obon dance in August.
Oh yes, there will be a virtual Obon festival or dance, the Bon Odori. Is going to be virtual this year, but it will take place in August. And I'm not sure of the details, but they will be announced as well in the calendar. So just keep checking the website. As soon as we know something, we'll let you know. And the candles will be used for that too. So if you miss the service, don't not send in a donation for the candles. Okay, anything else? So that concludes our service for this week. And so let's bow our heads and do closing Gassho with gratitude for being able to be here, both in person and through virtual means, to be Sangha together and find a place of a center, a ballast, as Reverend Cheryl said, a place of equanimity for our turbulent lives and times. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So thank you very much. See you next time. Tell all your friends.